Formerly known as Giraffes Without Regrets, now currently known as the Ruckus and Ruckus Revival. I just call it the Ruckus because it sounds cool. But he's cooler than anything he's ever produced, which is just a fact. I met Jamie DeWolf at Bakatak in 1999. I can't believe I've known you since the very end of the 90s. And he came down, and I remember there being a toilet. Did you bring a toilet with you? You did. He brought a whole toilet and used it as part of his performance that evening, and I was blown away because I've never seen someone use a toilet that way before. And he has been crossing boundaries and barriers ever since in ways that impress me. And he's just, I think one of the best showmen ever in the Bay Area. And I get to call him my friend, and I'm honored to be able to do that. It is with great pleasure that I bring to you the legend himself, Jamie DeWolf.
Talk about the toilet stories, the most confusing thing. Disney. Hello, good evening, folks.
Hi.
We are in church. I am going to warn you that I have a bit of a filthy mouth, so if I offend you, then there's the door. If you're religious, you can forgive me. And we do all kinds of things here tonight. So, I tried to write a love poem, and it ended up becoming more scientific than I anticipated. So, this is called Walk the Web. The male praying mantis can't have an orgasm unless he's decapitated. The female rips his head off while his pelvis keeps pumping. Proof that even in the insect world, pricks don't need a brain to do their job. A black widow spider can consume up to 20 mates in a single day. All in a row, they count. Honeybees' genitals explode and snap off inside their queen to ensure that no second suitors can fit. Female brown trout fake orgasms to make the males prematurely ejaculate so they can swim off to find a better mate, Mother Nature's form of eliminating. The red-sided garter snake only comes out of her cave once a year for a reptilian orgy where up to 25,000 writhe across each other, all looking for a single hole to procreate. When a male porcupine meets a girl he likes, he coats her from head to toe in hot steaming urine that can shoot up to 5 feet. Yet despite this delightful little practice, they are one of the only animals in the world, especially mammals, that will mate for 365 days a year without being in heat. When it comes to Mother Nature, us primates are the definition of boring sex. Even canines took doggy style first. A silverback gorilla has a 2-inch cock. A banana slug has 8, one less than its total body length. And an Argentine lake duck has 18 inches shaped like a corkscrew, long enough to lasso back any escaping mistress. You see, us monkeys ain't all that special. But we'll never be convinced thinking we're the rooster's cock of the walk when even a dolphin has a retractable penis and a pig's orgasm lasts for 30 minutes. 30 minutes, folks, 30 minutes. Maybe that's why we fell in love at the Oakland Zoo. We were 2 bipedal primates on a Monday morning trying to decide where we stood underneath the birds and the bees. It'd been 2 weeks of trying to slither through each other's lives cold-blooded, but we had too much shed skin and no new coat to show for it. The night before, we scared each other when we woke up wrapped tighter than a chain of orangutans because we've been circling each other like sharks over a bleeding dolphin trying to decide if we should evolve our relationship and give an opposable thumb up or down to monogamy. When we both dated, how a cat will kill 15 mice in a row before it finally stops. They've also counted that as well. That's the limit for cats to finally stop killing mice. I didn't bring any bodies to your doorstep, but I could see the red hourglass on your belly and your ex-boyfriends in your teeth. Couldn't tell if I should bring you flowers or buy my own funeral wreath. But I made my best drawings in the dirt, beat my chest, knew this monkey had to get down to business before he fluttered off into the distance, so we went to the Oakland Zoo. It's a 2-for-1 on a Monday. We went to the Oakland Zoo. to watch the gibbons pick each other's fur clean, to listen to the parrots talk mad shit, to watch the alpha male chimpanzee beat the hell out of his tire swing just to impress the ladies, and I tuck my hand in yours tighter than a marsupial's pockets. Because I realized without DNA's version of love, the whole world would literally go extinct. Maybe it was our pheromones, something as simple as the animalistic need to breed to keep us coming through mutation and adaptation, but in the last 2,000 years, no new animals besides dogs have been domesticated. And there's 1 million ants for every single person sitting in this church, but we are all hardwired to search for the one, or for the two, or for the three, and like a male black widow, we walk the web without a choice. Some say monogamy isn't natural. Some say polyamory isn't natural. Sheep are natural and sheepskin commons are man-made. Snakes see through their eyelids. Crickets hear with their knees. Butterflies taste with their feet. I'm not a worm with 10 hearts, being made me a hedgehog with only one that beats 200 times a minute. Too often I've dated like a goldfish with a memory of only 3 seconds. A wolf that can bark like a dog but chooses to howl instead. But you remind me why moths drink the tears of elephants. Why tapeworms love those who got motherfucking guts. So this here is my grasshopper serenade to that little male black widow, that little man who walks the web, even if it can see her hunger and 8 lidless eyes and her ex-boyfriend's dead under her silk-spun legs. He walks the web because he dares to think he's going to be the only one who lives. Okay, I'm gonna go with the nerdy piece here. This is also out to Wonder Dave and Mighty Mike McGee. Mighty Mike McGee was the first person I ever saw do an entire poem in the voice of Sean Connery, and I did not know that was possible. And he broke barriers on what we could do, and Wonder Dave's love of throwing wrestling and Sailor Moon in the poetry set. So this is there's a little independent movie called Star Wars, and this is have you seen Star Wars? Science tells us that it takes hundreds of years for the closest starlight to travel to our eyes. By the time we see them, most of them are already dead. Above us is a twinkling graveyard in a time machine. We walk and live under a canopy of flickering ghosts, all reaching towards us with their last life. For Carrie Fisher. After several hundreds of centuries where children were read nighttime stories of princesses who waited in towers growing out their hair for a prince to propel up towards freedom, or mermaids that traded their flipper fins for the chance to ballroom dance, or better yet, were laid out in a roofied coma with a security blanket of thorns until the perfect right guy woke her up with his pink, princely tongue, princesses have always been passive, waiting for a knight to storm in and save them. They were locked away, knocked out, and kept quiet. But in 1977, children got introduced to a new princess, one whose hairstyles rivaled Medusa's for artistry and audacity, who had a razor wit sharp as a tauntaun's talon, and if you watch carefully, a princess who absolutely, certifiably, 100% murdered motherfuckers in every single movie. The first time the world saw Princess Leia on a movie screen, her whole squad was getting ran through in a melee of panic, but she is calm and collected, enough in the massacre to throw a holographic Hail Mary into a shit-talking trash can who ejects into space. Her final task done, the next time we see her, she's got a gun in her hand. No security around her, no man to protect her, just a big-ass gun, like the Desert Eagle of lasers. She sees stormtroopers coming and doesn't say, "Hold on, fellas, I'm a princess. Party! Stop or I'll shoot." She just straight murks the first one she sees, which, to be fair, isn't much of a challenge, as stormtroopers have literally the most ineffective armor in the history of warfare. You can literally punch punch them to death. What are they even wearing it for? This princess didn't sing a song, didn't wait around for her alliance. No, this princess started killing the first chance she got. And then, when the stormtroopers knocked her unconscious and put her in handcuffs, which she looks way too comfortable in, she goes toe-to-toe with Darth Vader and straight up lies to his samurai helmet, half man, half gothic Rubik's Cube looking face. Princess Leia isn't just your highness. She's a senator, a secret agent, a soldier, and a straight-up murderer with a heart as cold as C-3PO's metal-ass cheeks on Hoth. Next scene, the Emperor kept her in a cell and sent in a floating syringe bot to torture her, and Darth Vader threatened her with everything that auto-asphyxiation fetishist could devise. Then, they sentenced her to execution, and she still kept talking shit, so they had to blow up an entire fucking planet to make her flinch. R.I.P. Aubrey. This was a princess who wasn't afraid to get her hands dirty. The kind when the heroes came to save her, she straight up disses their lack of planning and wants a weapon. Who didn't give a good goddamn if her white versatile robe got wet in the trash compactor and was the only person in the entire trilogy to tell an armed Wookiee to get the fuck out of her way and live. This princess didn't want the knight in loose robe armor, the Joseph Campbell's hero journey textbook chosen hero farm boy who's destined to save the galaxy. No. This princess has a tattooed desert hots for the pirate who's got the same smile and swag of Ted Bundy on trial. The gambling degenerate. R.I.P. Ted Bundy. The gambling degenerate. Lying-ass master blaster of the sky who only had an overgrown fang gorilla for a friend because he had killed everyone else who tried to cash in on his debts. The OG fuckboy, Han Solo, who has the name of the most narcissistic porn star in history. That was who this princess swooned over. Enough to come disguised as a bounty hunter into the den of thieves to melt his carbonite into a wet, flocking, blind hangover. Han Solo was the sleeping beauty. This princess didn't need saving. She saved your bitch ass. And even when she got recaptured and they stripped her down, her bikini was still made out of metal, because of course it was. And when the boat party in the desert went crazy like someone spiked a punch with PCP, she has no hesitation, none, to choke a galactic gangster slug to death with her own slave chain until his tail spasms like a breakdancer getting tasered or a drunk slinky tripping down an escalator. She ain't asking for permission and ask Jabba the Hutt. She ain't asking for forgiveness either. And unlike nearly every other princess in fantasy, she wasn't destined to be a queen. She didn't want it because at the core, she was a soldier who fought her way to become a general. She was Daenerys with no dragons, a middle finger that shone brighter than any lightsaber. Princess Leia, space slug strangler, two-faced spy, kisser of brothers, and fucker of pirates. You listening, Disney? You better have a new ride in that theme park called Leia's Chokeout. Otherwise, Disney Plus, not Disney minus. But let's be fair. Leia would have only been a pen dispenser of George Lucas's dialogue if it wasn't for the wildfire in human form known as Carrie fucking Fisher. Imagine any of the other actresses who auditioned for the role. Glenn Close, Farrah Fawcett, Sissy Spacek, Sybil Shepherd, Meryl Streep, Kim Basinger, Sigourney Weaver. I got love for Ripley all day and my chest and pants burst for Sigourney, but no one would have brought the same moxie as Carrie motherfucking Fisher. Born to vaudeville parents, actress, author, screenwriter with a tongue that was sharper than Kylo Ren's electric pitchfork who said, I don't want life to imitate art. I want life to be art. The woman, the real woman, who actually fucked Han Solo off screen and managed to keep that shit secret for 4 decades, who put her own manic depression in the spotlight and made shadow puppets out of her madness on the stage, a walking one-woman roast who Hollywood would hand scripts for her to sharpen. Fearless, feminist, and ferocious, you are more than an action figure. You are the flesh and blood fighting its way out of the plastic mold they made for you. You wrote once, there's no room for demons when you're self-possessed. When you died of an overdose of cocaine, heroin, MDMA, booze, and methadone, all in your system, all at once, like every drug I did over all 10 years of my 20s, but all at once. Sure, it was sad. But I have to admit, I was like, damn, that's a lot of fucking drugs for a senior citizen to take. You're 60 years old, Grandma, slow your roll. But like Darth Vader once said, impressive, most impressive. Even your overdose outdid them all. The original actor who suffered through the strangest acting assignment ever as R2-D2 is gone. The second strangest assignment was to Chewbacca, who has also gone to spacewalk and gorilla strides in the sky. We all gotta go sometime, but at least you transformed your personal black hole into a final supernova. You wrote one of my favorite lines, "Some of us find heaven by backing away from hell." I think on that tonight. As a man who still loves the taste of flames but doesn't believe for a second in the pearly gates, all I do believe in is stars. The ghosts above us that we can see with our own naked eyes. We can all look into the vastness of space and see our own deaths coming, that last light reaching towards us before it's finally gone. One last flicker, one last middle finger from Carrie Fisher, the princess this galaxy deserved, the last star left. I am going to blitz through a couple here, and then just do a quick short one. It's called Tower. It's the most dangerous question. If your current lover is a symptom or a cure. If they're your destiny or delusion. An ending to a cycle you forced yourself to see, or a new beginning with open eyes. If you learn anything, or need another rehearsal for how to downward spiral in a faster circle. If you're too afraid to fix yourself, so you're looking for someone more broken that you can, to make a portrait out of stitches. We all take a risk. A gamble your lover is a deja vu with a better backstory. That you're not using them as revenge against yourself. If the glass is half empty or half full, or if it's only half a glass, because that's all the poison you can take. This is when you might say it's my dark disposition. That ragged cynicism of mine, barking down a dark street, seeing everything as a threat, a building ready to collapse. But until then, sure, let's see where we stand. To see if this is a race to who falls first, or if we go hand to hand into the fire. We keep building against the wind, against hurricanes and oncoming hell. Pull satin over my scars, aim higher, keep building our tower brick by brick. Take a risk. We have to. Beauty can't build itself. Let the wind howl all it wants. We have 5 more minutes. Because my McGee, who I've been friends with for so long, he's one of my favorite people. I also just want to give a lot of love to man who should be the mayor of San Jose, but Mighty Mike McGee, because he just does so much to keep poetry and art alive in San Jose. He's toured the world. He can live anywhere that he wants. I don't know why he loves here so much. He's fanatically in love with San Jose. So this man creates so much of the art and even this event and putting all this together because he loves this place with a crazy, dumb ferocity. So you should really have a lot of gratitude. I run a show called The Ruckus Revival in Oakland. So it is a slam. It's also a freestyle rap battle. It also has circus performers, contortionists, stand-up comedy, a dirty haiku bout, aerialists, burlesque. All of that actually happens in one show. It's only once a month. I hilariously forgot flyers, but you can find us on Instagram. It's called The Ruckus Revival. But if you've never been to it, I would say it's one of the best shows in the Bay Area. I'm just happy to be there. And me and Wonder Dave actually put it on. So if you like either one of us, you have flyers? God bless you. Bless you, David. David also puts on a million stand-up comedy shows all over. And thank all of you for coming out and not staying home. And, you know, not being in love with your screen, because it's the only way that art survives is for people to come out in the church and listen to 4 random motherfuckers talk about Carrie Fisher and wrestling. And now I'm going to talk about darker stuff. So I think it is being in a church. My birthday is next month, and I don't know if there's any of you that that kind of rare breed that get mad depressed on your birthday? Do I have anybody else like that? Where it's like everybody has to cheer you up and you're like, what's wrong with you? And I've always been like that. I don't know why. The guy's melancholy at his own surprise party. And I had a partner who was actually was far darker than I was on their birthday. So I wrote this piece for survival and for all of us who have survived longer than maybe we might expect. This is called Counting. This is my last piece. Thank you. 1. I think of me too young in the snow outside that cabin and meat cleaver to my neck. In my parents' bedroom, my teeth clenched on a shotgun. In Vallejo's first hospital, tied to a bed with rubber hoses. That freshman high school summer, carving my arms into jack-o'-lanterns. And I think of her, too young, blurred and broken, months vanishing, driving through a blackout, her brain clawing its way out of wet cement. We count our blessings with each near-death experience and have had more lives lost than a cat. I think of us sucking guns like lollipops, syringes blasting napalm in the vein, face down in a vomit, screaming into pillows, the past limping behind us, the future exposing itself inch by inch. I think of us, and I sink into her sleeping skin, run a finger over flesh that fought to be here, hold my body over hers like a live grenade, and listen to the clock tick out borrowed time, and give thanks to every accident, every mistake that brought her to me, every accident that let us live. 2. It's your birthday tonight. You call me from across the world and want to see my dumb potato face, so I step outside with fingerless gloves into the Canada cold to talk. You're lying down, your face an impressionist painting on its side. I shout, "Happy birthday!" into the street, but to even hear my wish brings tears to your eyes. Your face doesn't break, but wet streaks roll down just to hear it. You just say, "Thank you." Wishing you a happy birthday is like I took a knife to your portrait, like a velvet insult wrapped in a rock. Maybe it's the words vivisected, happy birthday, all words that wrestle with their opposite, all words with a darker Siamese twin. You tell me you have a hard time every year. People want to feed you cake, wish you well. You want to throw yourself down one. My guess is the birthday wish you don't say out loud is that you never had one in the first place. You said it's been a decade of this. 10 years of birthdays where the anniversary of alive is a corkscrew twisting the wrong clock backwards in your chest. I get it. Birthdays to me are a time bomb with a snooze button I hit every year. I don't want to hear happy before the word of birth when existence wasn't exactly our choice in the first place. But hey, I'm sure as hell happy you're here. Maybe we're all just selfish you're still alive. I understand that people like us, there's a debate if tomorrow is ever and still a good idea, but I keep smiling. Keep reminding you that we're more than calendars, more than an hourglass. I keep smiling as you say, part of me is sad, I'm still here and I don't know why. I wish I could hear ghosts speak because I'm pretty sure our dead friends wouldn't agree. We're all falling at our own speed, counting stories down a skyscraper, guessing how many numbers are left down to 0. Birthdays would be way better parties if we knew how many we had left. I keep smiling, but let me be ugly here and confess. I want to get a scalpel and carve in your head. Dig deep to find that little voice that tells you for 1 second you're not worth a celebration. To find that whisper that only wounds when no one's looking. To pull up that little traitor yelling lies from its bullhorn and smash it under my boot. Tie it to a bullseye and throw knives at that parasite that makes you feel like you don't deserve this life. I'll keep smiling because that voice is still talking through you. That voice slithering through your head. That cold-blooded tapeworm that hates its own skin. That voice that sucks you dry and leaves you wondering where your own blood went. If I met that voice, I'd scream over it. With a glittered bullhorn, bludgeon it with every inch of volume I have and scream, that voice doesn't deserve your ear. That voice doesn't deserve to steal 1 more second of your days. It's just an echo. And echoes are only hungry for an empty hole to survive. Instead, let's make you go deaf with praise. Sing hallelujah to your name. We can be atheists all we want, but Jesus Christ, today is
sacred because you stepped out onto the stage. You don't have to ask for applause, but God damn it, we all deserve it. I hope that that voice is listening to my threats, that it's fighting for volume, knowing its days are numbered, just like birthdays. So snooze button that little bitch. Hit it hard. Count your mornings like bullets if you have to, spinning in the chamber, because every year is another blank before the one you can't count anymore. You never hear the shot that gets you. Never know the year that no one can get you a cake. And every birthday is another day that that voice didn't win. Because all that voice knows is a language of smoke and ashes and you and us. You're a candle I would never blow out. Thank you all very much.